Hi everybody, and welcome to my channel if you're new, or welcome back to my channel if you've been following me for a while. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the new R&F Drawing Oils. Let's go. Okay everybody, so you can see here, picture. This is what I have been creating. You may have noticed on social media that I have been sharing some creations using these. Now, I've only ordered 2 colours. They are the most non-toxic of the whole variety, and offhand I can't quite remember how many there are. There are not loads of colours, it's quite limited. But I've only ordered 2, technically 1 colour, which is the raw umber. I keep calling it burnt umber because it reminds me of it, but this is raw umber, and this one is the unbleached titanium dioxide. And basically it's like a buff titanium. So if you are looking for a vivid white, like a mixing white, I would get the titanium dioxide, the pure white one. I probably will get that so that I can then lighten this unbleached one. So that's just a thought. Now, another thing to notice, they are oil sticks basically, but they have wax in them that makes them dry quicker, which is why the art community is raving about them for sketchbook artists. Because the problem with oil is it takes, well, years really to dry properly. And so these have got wax to speed the process up. However, each colour varies by drying time, and the purple one takes the longest, apparently, according to the information on the R&F website about these sticks. So the fastest, woohoo, is this colour, the raw umber and Payne's grey. So if you add too much of the titanium dioxide, be it bleached or unbleached, you will slow the drying time if you have Payne's grey or raw umber. So if you just want to use the Payne's grey or raw umber and then a blending stump, you will then have much faster drying time. And the drying time is 3 days for it to be touch dry. That's for Payne's grey and raw umber alone without using anything else. So you can see here that I've created a kind of snow scene effect. And this is well over a week. So I record this video on around the 16th of January, and this was done on the 6th, so 10 days ago. And it feels, there's some texture, but it feels completely dry. So I thought, also I recommend do not use a spiral bound sketchbook for using anything like this that you're going to blend, simply because the spirals make it difficult when you are blending. I kind of didn't realize and was just, I kind of did, but I was thinking I might not like them anyway, so it didn't matter, because I didn't want to ruin a good sketchbook basically. So, and I didn't want loads of pages, but now I know that I like them. I will be using the Royal Talens Art Creation sketchbooks. So when you first get them, and also if you don't use them every day, they will have a dried exterior that you just want to wipe off before you get going. And sometimes, as I say, after you've left them for more than 3 days, that dryness will come back again. But, as you know, it's up to you. They will still work. So today, we are going to be doing another drawing with these 2 sticks. And I've decided to do an apple, as I always would do. So you can see, even though it has a dryness, they're not that dirty. Little bits will fall off, but you can kind of blend them with your blending stump. You can see here it's a little bit dry, but that's okay. It's not going to feel buttery, slick, smooth until you wipe it. But I kind of like that. Now you can see a little bit has fallen off here onto the paper. That's the dry bit, which is why people will, you know, use a tissue before starting. Which I will do now. You don't need much, just some. I first heard about these from the artist Sandy Hester. She showed a load of them on her YouTube channel and was thinking that it was going to be the breakthrough for sketchbook artists. And I would say she is pretty correct. You can get lovely texture. And I like the blending. Just very light amount of the pigment and add a thick, like push harder. And that's where you get the fun. You don't want to be scared of them. I kind of spread it a bit like butter at times. You'll see what I mean when you use a blending stump. Obviously you can use your finger, but I don't do that. I try not to get into the habit of doing that because, as I say, it can be toxic. So then, it's nice to have a blending colour. So either titanium dioxide or the unbleached is really recommended. I prefer unbleached because it is a lovely warming tone. And you'll notice the difference when you add it with the raw umber, because you'll feel under the surface of the paper that the raw umber is drier. So you need to have a little bit of extra help to have it move and blend and be smooth. And that's where I'm going to keep calling it buff titanium, but it's unbleached titanium. That's the official name. But to me, I think I just see it as buff titanium. And there, you can see how you've got a lovely transition from the dark into lighter. At the moment, they're only available as 12mm sticks, and that makes them convenient for storage. I even think they'll fit easily into your Meaden art drawers. I have a set of 4, and a bottom drawer is empty as such of art supplies, so if I do get any more, that's probably where I would store them. It's so much more convenient than oil paint, where you need linseed oil and turpentine, and they're all full of such chemicals. Now, the other colours, they are full of chemicals, you know, but there's at least 6 I discovered that are almost completely non-toxic, as in raw umber, unbleached titanium, Payne's grey, There was a yellow, a bit difficult on the red, but I did find a blue and a green. So I'll be doing that later in the year. The other ones I recommend but are safe. And also, in case you're not aware, some housekeeping while I do the apple is I'm now on Patreon. I have a free Patreon and I have 2 paid tiers. And you're more than welcome to join me over there where you can draw with me. I do tiny art and it's just more, what's the word I'm looking for? More intimate, I would say. It's where if you really do appreciate art and you really are interested in the art and not just scrolling, then that is where it's more meaningful. That's the word I'm looking for. It's more meaningful art over on Patreon. And I can really take my time. I've got some Conte tutorials on there already. I only started it mid-December so that I could have time to kind of sort out whether I could cope with it or not. And slowly, I am building up content. And I have a feeling throughout January there is a discount. I also recommend joining in February because I reduced the price of my first tier as I'm not able to deal with the workload of 2 paid tiers. So I reduced the first tier to €8 a month. And that is the basic supporters tier. And you will get a monthly art theme for that and an art chat area to share all your creations with everybody else who joins. It's a nice community to be part of. So now back to the apple. We are going to now do the unbleached titanium for the stem. And I just really do enjoy how these work together. And it isn't, I can't get over how clean it is, really, considering it's oil paint. I'm not seeing all the staining and the dripping and the stench. There is a mild, let's talk odour now, very important. That was another thing that was going to put me off using anything to do with oil is stench. And there isn't any. All you smell is linseed oil. Now, if you don't like the smell of linseed oil, and I have to say it's not a very strong smell of linseed oil, but nevertheless, there is the odour of linseed oil. It kind of reminds me of cocoa butter. I think cocoa butter would mix well for that smell, but you'd get a smell of cocoa. It would mix well together. That's just me. So that's the only thing, and it doesn't put me off. It doesn't get stronger the more you're using them, and the smell does not leach out of the sketchbook. So I live in an open house area, and the smell does not travel even within my area, let alone out of it. So very pleased with that. And I can kind of feel it starting to dry on me already. So it will depend also on the atmosphere, your weather system, but kind of touch dry 24 hours, dry in 3 days. For if you're using more raw umber ratio to the unbleached titanium, you'll kind of start feeling a stiffness with the blending. And that's kind of when you know it's enough. This sketchbook is the Le Franc Bourgeois one. It was like €3.99 on Amazon, and you get about 50 to, I think it's 50 sheets, basically, and it's basically cartridge paper. It's quite durable. I think it's like 160 GSM or something. Well, it could be 160. Let's have a look. I'm not sure if I saved. Okay, it's 110 GSM, so that surprises me. And it's 160 pages. Feels a bit, I suppose it could be, just feels thicker to me. But coping with oil sticks. And then what I do is I just go around here, just do a bit of a base, almost like shadow, but not, just to sit it on something. I'll be doing a lot more of these over on my Patreon, using these oil sticks, because I don't like rushing. I find on YouTube I have to rush to beat the algorithm, whereas when I say more meaningful art, it's about not fighting the algorithm, it's about actual art. So I can draw what I like, and if you like my art, and then that is a dedicated place for people that are really interested in my art, you know? So that pleases me, to have another outlet. And there we go. Almost complete. There. So, thank you for watching, everybody. I hope that you found this useful, and I'll see you on the next video really soon. Don't forget to subscribe. It's free to subscribe to my channel, and give me the thumbs up and leave a comment, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye!